Right, Jason. So you told us in the first bit about your granddad opening betting shops and that betting at the dogs. You told me before we did this that your dad had a pitch at Epsom in Tattenham Corner.
Mm.
Now, one of the first betting people interviewees I did, I think it was even before we called it betting people, was Rocky.
Yeah.
Who was one of the best known
tic-tacs.
Yeah. Now, he told me that they had a relay of about 5 tic-tacs, so he could lay bets from the rails to and from Tattenham Corner.
Yeah.
That must have been something? Was it still sort of operating? I suppose it would have been tic-tacs back in those days.
Yeah. Not so much. We never used to get much trade from but obviously they could get value there because I think the odds was a lot different on Tattenham Corner than they was in the main ring.
You'd have imagined so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But there was bookmakers all around the track, but we was there for about 12, 13 years. We'd done it, and no big money there, just small money, but really busy, and it was always a good fun day out.
So was that part of the hill, like a part of the Epsom Downs on Tattenham Corner?
Yeah.
So that was run by.
Yeah, the gypsies used to run all the pitches there. We used to pay the fellas to come around, one of the old gyppos, and we used to pay him money for the pitch. And we was there for years. And then last time we went was '96 when it went to a Saturday, and that killed it because on a Wednesday everyone used to go. It used to be really busy. And then the first Saturday one, there was no trade there at all, so we never bothered going back.
No, so how did it used to work then? I mean, but that was before there was like buying and selling pitches, and as it wasn't part of the race course, there wouldn't have been a list, would there? Not an official list anyway. So was it like first come, first served, or did the people running it sort of have an unofficial list themselves?
Yeah, I think they had an official list. We used to bet under Barry Dennis because my dad knew Barry. We used to use one of his pitches, his cards and all that, you know. So we always bet. Yeah, it was always quite official. And I don't know if they still run it now. There, I know the fairground's still there, isn't it?
Some of it, yeah. So you let it slip a bit earlier about your age. So you must have been fairly young in those days.
Yeah, I was about 13, 14 when I first went. I used to start doing the bag and then started clerking.
So you clerk with a pencil and a field book.
Yeah.
So I imagine that there was a good margin and a lot of bets. So you'd have had to have been very accurate.
Yeah.
You know, penciling the bets in.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you learn that?
My dad taught me how to clerk.
What, on the job or?
For at home really, and he taught me how to tic-tac as well. I remember one year we went and must have been about 89. Was it 90? And we went there, there was just 2 of us. Normally there was 3, my uncle used to come, but he couldn't come this year. And I think we took a £5 float with us, and we worked all day, and it was pouring down. We ran and writing the bets in, you couldn't read. And he's going, don't worry, just write them in, we'll sort it out later. We shut the odd up, and at the end of the day we counted up, we had 4,995. So we worked all day and done a fiver.
I mean, I thought everybody won in those days. So did he bet at any other race courses, or was that just the once a year?
That was, the main one. Plumpton sometimes we used to go to.
Was that under Barry's name as well? Yeah,
under one of Barry's pitches at Easter. They used to have a meeting there. They used to get on the bank holiday Monday. I can remember going there. Yeah, I think that was about it. So
you worked with your dad as a tic-tac at the Dogs. So he was a regular at the Dogs as a bookie under his own name?
No, he had a punter there.
Right.
That we used to put on for, so I used to help him get the bets on. Because at Walthamstow they used to have 2 lots of bookies. They used to have about 10. They used to have like 7 up one end and 3 up the other. So I used to work up the other end where there was 3 bookmakers. So when he'd come out, he'd send me what prices, trap 3, and I'd show him back. So obviously, if it was better up there.
So were you just showing the prices to each other, or was he? Were you betting? Would you have a bet with one of the bookies using tic-tac as well?
Yeah. He'd send the bet up, and I'd go and put it on, and then show him back.
Can you give us, people that wouldn't know, have never seen it in action? Can you show us a? Can you show us a bit?
Yeah, trap 3, £100 at 7 to 2.
And then once you'd had the bet, would you just give him a thumbs up or something like that?
I'd just show him back. Go 3, £100, 7 to 2. Show him back.
Just write the bookie down on your race card. Would you just call in the bets into the bookie? Would you be able to have credit?
Yeah,
or
call them in, or sometimes I'd show them. But normally I used to stand down the front, so it was quicker to get on.
So you could call over the heads of the punters that were trying to get on there.
Yeah.
So you were sticking on for a big punter. I'm assuming, as you had to stick on for him, he was a winning punter.
I wouldn't say a winning punter. He wasn't a losing punter. He wasn't a winning punter, but he had a lot of dogs. He used to have 30 dogs at Walthamstow, you know. So we used to have a few touches, and he used to have a lot of horses as well. So he was more of a fun punter. He just done it because he liked having a bet. But
so he was using you guys because he had other things to do, rather than the fact that the bookies didn't want to take his money.
No, not that, because sometimes when we didn't go, he'd sometimes go and have a bet himself, but it was just, we'd done it for him for years. My dad dealt with him for over 40 years, I think.
So how did that work? Was that like on a commission basis? Because if he wasn't necessarily winning, you wouldn't really want to follow him in? Or sometimes it was worth following him? Yeah,
on a commission, and sometimes you beat the odds and you get the prices.
Yeah. So you'd be able to sort of earn a little bit from the bets you put on.
Yeah.
When you sort of listen to people talking about Hackney and Walthamstow and Crayford and all those sort of places in their pomp, like on Saturday nights, that sort of thing, it seems that all the punters always used to win. Now they obviously didn't, because one of the bookmakers I interviewed used to wear a mink coat. So, what was how many Shrewdies would there have been at the dogs that were actually winning in those days?
To start off with, when I first went, I wouldn't think there'd be loads, but sort of towards the end of the time, say from about, I don't know, just before the millennium, around that time, there was a couple of good Shrew punters at Walthamstow who were winning punters. Not massive punters, but winning punters, you know. Obviously there was a lot of owners there, big owners over the years. I used to do business with a fellow there called Terry, who was good judge, you know. He was one of the best over there, and obviously Jerry, you know,
Croxford.
Jerry was good.
Not good, the greatest of all time, if you ask Jerry.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, those were two of the faces.
Yeah.
And it's different. I mean, would the bookies stand for it? So that bookies knew the powers, for example, they knew that Jerry was a winning punter, and he came in for a bet. Would he get bluffed, or would he get the bet, or would he need somebody like you to stick on for him?
I never put on for Jerry. Obviously I used to put on for Terry, but Jerry used to have his little putter-oners.
So they would have bluffed him had he come in himself? So
I'm sure they used to bet him, but sometimes it might have suited them to bet him to get his info, you know.
Yeah.
But obviously the markets wasn't so strong as they was years ago. Like when I first started going there in the sort of mid-80s, it was quite a strong market there. There was some good bookmakers there, Dougie Tyler and John Powers and Ronnie Bolton, Gordon Hutchinson. All good bookmakers have been there for years, you know. So it was quite a strong market then, but obviously, Dougie was there up till the end. He would always still lay a bet, you know.
Were you taking an interest in the form? I mean, these days they've all got the videos, haven't they? But would have been a lot of
videos. I used to study the cards up and that. I had my best night ever. Walthamstow. Me and my dad won the jackpot over there. That was the last time it got up to a decent amount. So yeah, we won 25,000.
Blimey. What sort of layout did you put for that?
We didn't only lay out about 20 quid, something like that. But it was different. It was quite weird how you could go up each race and put your bets on. So I think we only laid out about 20 quid, and we just kept going and going. And it come down to the last leg, and there was two people left. There was us and another bloke, and all you want to try and get on is the favourite, innit, and then try and lay a bit back. So we ended up getting on the one dog, which didn't turn out to be the favourite, and the other person put his on the one dog as well. But then the 5 opened up as favourite, and you could change your ticket. He went up and changed his ticket and put it on the 5 dog. We were still on the 1, and one led all the way, one about a neck. So he must have been killing himself.
Now, the dog racing. No, I was going to say about the dog racing. People that don't know about dog racing, always assumes, or even when I was growing up, you know, a lot of it is a bit crooked for various, you give the dog a bucket of water, a load of sausages or whatever. I'm assuming these days you can see how people get good at it because they got the videos, they can watch them all, they can see which way the dogs go. But all the punters would have to go on back in your day would be what they'd seen themselves or the accuracy of the card, you know, wide, all the rest of it.
Well, they did bring the videos in quite sort of late 80s, I think.
Did they? So,
Yeah.
but I mean, before that, it would have been, would the punters have had to know more than the bookies, i.e. this wasn't quite at its best the time before, but it is today, to actually be winning punters, or would it have still been done on a form skill, use your own eyes sort of basis?
Yeah, really. I suppose that's what it was like. And then obviously when the videos come in, everyone used to get the videos. I know Terry used to get them and sit there studying up.
Is that something you ever got involved with?
No, not really. No. Just let Terry do it. But obviously they'd always get together sometimes, and they'd always have a bet on the bags at Walthamstow. That was always quite good. So they should bet in the betting shops, and sometimes well, that's the best place to get on, obviously, because the markets are quite weak, aren't they, on the bags? So everyone will be betting away around the betting shops. So that was always quite good.
So when all these tracks ultimately came to an end, Hackney, Walthamstow, Catford, all those places, was the writing on the wall? Had it dwindled to such a point where you thought they can't carry on, or were they still in their prime and they've just been ripped out?
Well, it's a shame with Walthamstow. Walthamstow was the premier track, wasn't it, in the country, and that was still going quite well, really. It's a shame he got sold. But obviously before then you'd had Hackney had shut down, Haringey, Catford. They've all gone now, haven't they? Crayford's just gone.
So they were shut. They were still viable when they were shut. So
Yeah, Walthamstow was still doing all right, I think. That was the main track. I think Wimbledon was still going then as well. But obviously now, Dogs is gone, isn't it, really? There's only Romford left now. You ever been to Romford?
I have been to Romford.
Yeah,
I
went 2 or 3 years ago, and I couldn't wait to get out of there. It was awful.
I interviewed Roger, the bastard of Billingsgate there.
Yeah.
So just to put things in context then, so the final question for this part, when you were sticking on for your big punter, what sort of bets could you get on at the Dogs in those days?
Oh, you get a couple of grand on.
What, in one hit?
Well, you sort of spread it around. You might have to have a 500 here, 500 there. That's why me and my dad used to do it. But sort of average bet, 400 or 500 quid a race, you could always get that on then.
And did you ever clerk for anybody at the Dogs to get the strength of it?
No, never clerked at the Dogs, no.
Would have been easy compared to Tattenham Corner, I imagine.
Yeah. It's a lot easier now though, isn't it?